What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This is ASA Studio, this channel for photographers and music producers where we come together, learn tricks and learn so many tutorials about how to edit and retouch your images. Okay, so today we're in Capture One once again to edit this photo. So let's dive right into it. Now, I've actually not edited an underexposed image because this image right here is underexposed. Okay, so now one thing I like saying in my tutorial, I like giving the trick and step process I use in editing images. Now, let's get started. This is the image, and I like finding the fault first of all. So if you zoom in, sometimes I edit and Capture One and I go to Photoshop and fix it. So I feel like she have less problem with her skin tone, and everything is just a little bit perfect. Okay, so there's no actual what to do, and I feel everything is just perfect, but the image is underexposed because it was taken inside. It just looks dull, kind of, yeah, not lively. So let's see, turn off before and after. Look at the graph. You can see nothing actually at the top side. And one thing I like doing, once the specs pause, nothing is actually there. You can actually use the highlights and the whites. Nothing is going to happen. Nothing. You see, nothing is not just pushing things up or pushing highlights up. You're actually bringing, leveling that. So it's just the tip. The tip is what the highlight adjust. If you want to make it smoother, you want to make it so. The main thing is the exposure and the brightness. Exposure and brightness. So before we do that, let's create a new layer, new fill layer, and name this one full adjustment. Hit enter, and one thing I'm going to do, I'm going to increase the highlight. You get the trick. Increase the highlight, increase the highlight. I know we said I just want to smoothen out the curve. You can see what's going to happen when I'm smoothing out the curve, smoothing out the whites. It's just making things look lively than before. Look at and see. So brought out the highlight, the image is coming to life. Now let's talk about the exposure, because that's one part. You can see where I'm actually hovering at. This place is just the end. We're going to fix that later because it's actually the brightest part, of which we need to make it darker and then mix the model. Okay, let's just fix that. Let's go new empty layer and name this one background, if that's actually going to fix it first of all. So let's select the background. So sorry, I mistakenly removed the windows, and let's continue. So name this the new layer background. The arrow, I'm just going to spell it just the way. Okay, so now this background, I'm going to select the background. All right, so I've selected the background, and this is what we have. So like I used to say, sometimes you use white balance at the beginning or you use it at the end. But let's see. Let's adjust the brightness of the background first of all, which is the brightest side. So I'm just going to use the bright side. The bright side, yes, the bright side. To bring it down. Okay. Oh, okay, that's smudging. That's smudging. Let's try the highlight. No, smudging. Let's bring the bar white. No, smudging. Okay, exposure then. Yeah, I feel this is actually looking okay. And the blacks and the brightness a little. I want the image of the lady to come up. All right, so we're going to fix all those in no time. I just want to do the quick before and then after. So brought out the image. So full adjustment and then the other adjustment. So let's zoom in. And one thing I want to take note of on the full adjustment, I want to bring up the brightness. So bringing up the brightness. Is it the brightness or the exposure? Yeah, I feel the exposure, like I said. So take a look at how it's actually smoothing out the curves. So bringing up the exposure, turn on the exposure warning, and let's keep raising it up. We can actually bring it back down. So we have this is too, this is the forehead is actually getting too exposed right here. So okay, not too exposed, but I feel like it's actually too bright, too bright. Yeah, let's take it down just a bit. Okay, take it up again. So this looks good to me. I think I like it. So turning this off just too bright. Okay, now let's adjust the background to the taste we want it. Now it's actually falling on the highlight, so that's why I like working bit by bit. And if you just jump to the next step, you are not actually going to make things look okay. So now it's falling on the highlight. I'm going to adjust the highlight, bring it back down. Okay, so it seems like nothing happened, just the sharp edge. I'm going to bring back the white, and I guess we have a sharp edge there. I'm not going to bring it all the way down. I'm going to combine the two together. Let's use the exposure this time again to black. This is the brightness, and I don't want to turn it all the way down, but I just feel like okay, you need something real. So we don't want to kill, but it's already showing she's closer to the background. So no, that's too much. Look at the image while you adjust. So I feel like this is actually okay. So that's that. Bring this back, bring this back. So let's see just the before, then the after. Decrease the opacity, okay, to make it realistic. All right, so just a little bit, changes. I don't want it too bright either, so I'm gonna take it the way back, all the way back to 50. That looks good. That looks good. At least it's actually decreasing something. 50, 49, 50. Okay, so now it actually have smooth transition with the air. Do increase and decrease. Smooth transition with the air. So we've corrected that just a bit. I'm still going to increase it just 50%, and then we're good. All right, so now our eyes. I feel like I like the color of our skin tone, and I'm just going to stop right. Should we? Let's try something new. Create a new fill layer, and this time we're going to use white balance. Name it white balance. Let's see if there's something we're missing, because that's what I always do. If actually I see if there's something missing. Okay, come on, zoom out. Now I'm going to go to the white balance tool, take this button and click on the eyes where I feel, yeah, this place needs to be white. Did anything happen? No. Zoom in. Yeah, something just happened. That happened. Did you see? Color changes to this. Yeah, there's a color change from this to this. The saturation, kind of the yellow feel is gone. Wow. And she looks just okay. So one thing I'm going to do now, since the white balance actually changed some things, I think I'm going to decrease the exposure and see if there is actually, oh, the skin tones are even. Yeah, the skin tones are even, except for, some of these places. Let's select the skin tone this time around. All right, so pick up the skin tone, new empty layer, name it skin tone. Skin tone. Let's make something new. I'm going to select the skin tone now. So I've selected the skin tone. So let's use the color editor. Go to the color editor tab, not white balance, color editor. Go to the skin tone, pick on the eyedropper to zoom in. I like using the nose and the cheek area. So I want something calmer, like let's say this side. Kind of look pinkish, yeah, pinkish, yeah, pinkish. Oh, come on, somewhere. I'm gonna zoom down. Let's look below. Okay, so somewhere here, yeah. So that's the average. Looks dark to me. I want some. Wow, look at this place. Look at that side. Or somewhere here. Now, bring it out. Let's make things look even. You all the way up, all the way up, all the way up to have something. Lightness too, even the lightness, and we have that. Wow, that's dramatic. Boom. You can just see how that just transform. Yep. Okay, so I'm gonna create some, bring in some saturation. Even the saturation, not bringing in saturation. Two different things. Just 15 is enough. Okay, so I'm not gonna touch the lightness again because it's actually gonna look too bright. Okay, just a little bit then. I like it like that. Saturation, no, not yet. So either front or back. But I like going back. Yeah, kind of make it so sweet and real. Unlike this yellow one, it looks amazing too. But this one looks so this time I might have to break the rule. Let's take it forward. Or we might as well leave it like that, just a little bit backwards. Does it make sense? No. I think forward this time around fits the type of hairstyle. Wow. Amazing, amazing, amazing. I'm just going to increase the saturation and we're good. That looks too much to me. Okay, so that is that. Wow, this looks sweet and amazing. Let's turn this off. We have this, the white balance without the white balance, and this one with the white balance. So let's zoom in. Which one do you prefer? With the white, without the white balance, with the white balance, without the white balance, with the white balance. If that's the case, let's go back. Create a new fill layer, and this time, don't worry, you choose. Go to the exposure tool and let's increase the saturation. And there you go. So with or without the white balance, we brought back. So if I turn it off and turn the white balance off, oh, it's the same image. Turn it on and turn the white balance off, boom, it's the same image. So that's just the saturation. I feel it's too, much on the air and the rest stuff. So I'm just gonna bring it just a little bit to the back. Let's say somewhere around 10. Let's just leave it. Don't overdo it. And what else do we need to do? Let's increase the contrast and give more depth. Wow, stunning and amazing. Right? Yes, 4. I don't want to decrease the dark. I want to bring in more highlights. Yeah, I want the smooth curve, more white. Let's take it forward, 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 forward. Yeah, more white, more highlights. And I've smoothened the curve right here. You see, I was adjusting it and it keeps getting smoother. Okay, so that's that. 60, 67. Should we bring back the blacks? No, I won't do that. Shadows, I won't do that either. I think I like it like this. So I'm just gonna leave it just the way it is. And I feel, oh, let's leave it like that. We can actually go back to background and then decrease the exposure to compensate on that. And it feels it's not actually right, just a little bit to the top. Looks great. Increase the brightness, highlights. Okay, so that looks good to me. I feel there's nothing more to do to the image than to just leave it. So for the white balance, removing it looks amazing. Putting it still looks amazing. But which one would you prefer? Highlight or no highlight? White balance or no white balance? Wow, I feel like I like the one without the white balance. So that's why you see sometimes I don't use white balance till the end. Why sometimes I use white balance at the end. So white balance. Let's just check with the before and after. Wow, that's a big change. So I feel the one with white balance is actually okay. Now compare white balance. You can see it's actually not too much just because of the saturation we dropped. And with the white balance, wow, not too noticeable. So I know what to do with the white balance. I'm just going to decrease. So I'm going to lose all. Decrease it to 50. Let's use 50% of it. Yeah, so before and then after. Before, after. So if it's too bright, you know what to do. Where did we adjust the brightness? Yeah, right? Yes. So let's take it all the way back, all the way back. Okay, so we're good. And then we have a smooth curve. Okay, so our before and our after, before and after. So that's how I'm going to edit my image. All right, so this is where we're going to stop the video. If you like the video we're actually posting on the channel, feel free to like and share. If you're new to the channel and you like the content we share, please subscribe. Helps the channel grow. For those of you that are new, don't forget to subscribe. Alright, see you in our next video. We'll be editing another awesome photo. Alright, this is once again ASAS Studio.